So finally, let's talk about accidents. The most important thing to remember is that the best way to avoid accidents is by doing all the things we've been talking about. Wearing your goggles, wearing gloves when necessary, wearing your lab coat, and just being generally safe. And so an aspect of that that's really important is a twofold thing. You can think of it as situational awareness, where your job, everybody's job in lab, not just your instructor, everybody's job in lab is to be always paying attention to things that might be dangerous. And doing it for yourself, but also watching all the people around you and seeing if they're doing something that's dangerous. And so when you get up to say to go to the sink or get a reagent or whatever, you should be paying attention to the things going on around you. And if you see something dangerous, like someone else left their backpack on the floor, or someone has a beaker about to fall off the bench, you should be overly cautious about making sure you point those things out. So situational awareness about things that could be dangerous is important. And along those same lines is everybody is responsible for looking out for everybody else. You should think of yourself as a team in lab where everybody's taking care of each other. And so do that. So that's the most important first thing. But accidents might happen, and if they do, you need to know how to respond. So the most important and dangerous things that you're likely to encounter in a college laboratory are things that could get in your eyes. So the most important thing is to wear your goggles. And if you do get something in your eyes, it's important to know what to do. So the first thing you should do if you do get something in your eyes is you or someone else near you should notify your instructor. Hey, I have something in my eyes. Then make your way or help your neighbor who this happened to get over to one of the eye washes. The eye washes are in 3 different places in the laboratory. They're over by the sinks, so each sink has an eye wash that works by simply pulling down the eye wash here. When you pull it down, it turns on and makes a nice spray of water that people can use to wash their eyes out. A nice spray of water. Now, should you feel bad about water getting on the bench when you're protecting somebody's eyes? No, you should not. So we don't care about making a little bit of a mess or even a big mess when we're taking care of people's health. So it's this thing here, which you can see it's got 2 pieces. It has caps on it so it doesn't get corroded or dirty. And when you pull it down, the spray of water comes out. Now, if somebody other than yourself has this happen, you should bring them over to the eye wash, hold their head down, and when they're doing this, their eyes are going to be shut closed really tightly, and so you need to open up, pull their eyelids back so to open up their eyes to keep it open. The other eye washes are the other 2 sinks. Here's one, and the eye wash is right there. It's labeled, you can see it, but it also has a sign that says Bradley Eye Wash. And then the second sink, the third sink over here, so that sink there also has one, and they're always to the right side of the regular faucet. And then finally, there's another eye wash along the wall, and that eye wash is this part here that pulls out, and that does the same thing as we saw a minute ago, just like the sink. So that's in the wall, and you'll see that it has that handle there for pulling back. If you do get something in your eye, the proper procedure is to rinse your eyes for 15 minutes and then follow up with a medical provider. If you spill a chemical on your skin, the first thing to do is if it's on your hand or your arm, wash that off and wash it off well and let your instructor know. Do that right away. If you get a big spill and it gets on you and it gets on your clothes, you need to change your clothes right away. And so you should rush to the restroom, or depending, just let us know. We'll get you to a place where you can do that, and we have spare clothing for you to wear if need be. If it's a sizable spill and it's going to get through your clothing onto your skin, we need to use the safety shower. So there's a safety shower here, and there's a handle right here that you pull down, and then up above me there's a shower head that has a reservoir of water that'll come down very quickly and wash you off. And so we use that. We don't use that. There's no drain in the floor, so we don't mess around with that and have it all go over the place. But when we need it, we use it. And so let your instructor know, and they'll take charge and get you under that if need be. If you have an injury or a burn, let your instructor know right away. And you should also always know the location of the first aid kit in lab. This particular lab has one right there. Working in lab is joyous and interesting and useful. And the ability to stay safe is the thing that allows us to actually do this. And keeping safety in mind when you enter the lab, before you enter the lab, while you're doing an experiment, while you're cleaning up, watching out for others is paramount. It's the most important thing that you should be thinking about while you're in lab, while you're doing your experiments. And so that ends our safety tour, and go experiment and experiment well and experiment safely.